Hey everyone, and welcome back to Ravenport and episode 27 of this Let's Play series. So in the previous episode we harvested our barley in field 19 and canola in 23. We fed that to the pigs. We also got some corn planted up in field 18. So what we need to do is we need to get some fertilizer sprayed on field 18, the corn. And I also got a work to do 14 and 15 with soybeans, so we need to fertilize that as well. So what we need to do first is change the tires on the Maxxum to narrow tires, and I've also now got the GPS mod enabled on this map, so we're going to be trying that out, but we do need to actually buy it. So when you install it, you get this new option on all vehicles. I presume just tractors and combines rather than pickups or anything like that. So it's 15,000 to purchase, but I do want to give it a go, so we're going to buy that. So we now have the GPS installed. So what we need to do is get rid of the annoying lines first. So the controls are Control S on the keyboard to bring up the guidance settings, so just want to switch the lines off for now. So we'll get the sprayer on this, and then we'll get over to field 18 and get that sprayed, and then head up to 14 and 15. So fortunately we have got liquid fertilizer in here. So the pigs are doing well. I think we're up to 31 of each, so 31 white and black and 31 white. We could do with topping this up, and I don't think we have any liquid fertilizer down here, so I'll head up to the store and get these topped up, and then we'll get 18 done. So I said we are up to about 31 of each pig, and I think we're down to about 5 hours reproduction for each type as well, so it's not going to take us long to fill up the enclosure. And I was working out, I think pigs sell for $1,000 each. So currently, if we just like skip 24 hours and then sold what we'd gained in terms of pigs, I think we're getting around about 10 pigs per day. So that's around about $10,000 per day we could potentially make in, as long as we keep the food topped up. With the reproduction rate would staying as it is, we literally could sell 10 pigs every day and earn $10,000. So when we do get up a lot more, that reproduction rate will reduce, and the amount of pigs we get per day will also increase. So we could potentially be making up to $12,000 plus per day from the pigs, which is actually quite a lot more than I thought it would. Obviously that does require transporting the pigs regularly up to the sell point. So we've got this one's a lot cheaper. I'll buy one of those. Does mean transported pigs, but you could sell the pigs directly at the pig enclosure, and even with the transport fee you are going to make quite a lot of money every day if you sell 10 pigs off. It depends on the reproduction rate. Once it's full, what you want to do is sell it so over the next 24 hours it gets to 100 again, and you're not getting to 100 before the 24 hours, and then you're going to be basically losing reproduction time and losing money. So I think I've never properly done pigs before. I did pigs a little bit on 17 on the Baltic Sea map, but that map was completely messed up in terms of, for some reason I think there was a conflict with the map and the mod, because the pigs kept reproducing stupidly in seasons when they shouldn't have done. So it was never a true reflection of doing pigs and making money on them. Right, so now we're at the field. What we need to do first with the GPS is, if we open up the menu again, which is Control S, before you enable the guidance steering, you need to set up your AB line. So you go to the guidance strategy, and then you've got different line methods. I think AB straight is the only one available so far. The other ones aren't available yet. Obviously it's still in early beta stage. So what we need to do is click set A, which you can see an A is popped up now. If we go back, then what you need to do is drive in a straight line for a short distance, and then you just stop. We open up the menu again, Control S, and then set B. Now that's set up our AB line. So if we go back to this, I'll put the lines back on so you can see. And then we can turn on enable guidance steering. So what it does now is the middle line is green. That means we're on auto steer, and the tractor will follow that green line. So we can turn on the sprayer on, put the cruise control on, and away we go. So the tractor will now just follow that green line, which is our AB line we've set up. The one thing I didn't do was the width, which we'll set at the end of the field. At the moment it doesn't matter on this first run. I have changed some of the key bindings as well. We are slightly off a little bit, we are drifting. Again, you need to set up that straight line yourself with the AB. You do need to get fairly straight to keep it on track. It's easy to just be slightly off. So if we open up the menu again, so it's Control S, we want to auto width, which is 21. So what we probably need to do now is reset the track a little bit, although that doesn't actually look too far off. So we'll bring it over to the next line. As I say, I've mapped the controls to my Xbox controller so I can switch this on and off just by pressing RB and down, which I think was the same for the GPS on 17. So now the line's green, that's enabled, so the tractor will just follow that straight line, which is absolutely amazing that we've now got this. As I say, it's still in early beta stages, so there's still more features to come on it, and I don't think you can save any tracks or anything like that yet. It does mess up your game, but I did try this out earlier, and I can actually save my game now with it enabled, where I couldn't before. So this is going to be super handy, so I'll be using this quite a bit, especially in the time lapses. Now I can do some straight lines, and what I'll do is I'll keep the lines off. Once I get used to the controls, I can just press RB and down on my controller, and that's switched on. And then away we go. So less waste on fertilizer, lime, and stuff like that, and being a bit more efficient when you're doing the seeding and stuff, so you're not overlapping too much or missing bits. So it's super handy. So glad it's kind of working. I say it's still early days, but I'm looking forward to seeing the new features that are going to be coming with the. I think they've got one where you can do like curves, where it all kind of map out field edges with the field boundaries with curves and stuff like that, so it'll follow the contours, which sounds interesting, and hopefully it'll work really well. So that's the fertilizer done on this field, apart from that little bit where we drifted off. So let's just check the map. So yeah, we are pretty much fully fertilized, apart from the very slight strip down there, which I'm not going to worry about. The only thing I can't do with the controller is it doesn't look like there's any options to disable the lines, unfortunately. So I think you can only switch them off through the actual menu. So what we need to do is get up to 14 and 15, say I've got soybeans in these, so we'll get that fertilised and then we can head back down to the yard. We've got 19 and 23 to get planted. We haven't got any fertiliser on those, but they don't need lime or ploughing, so it's just a case of getting a coat of fertiliser down and then getting those seeded. I'm not sure what we're going to put in. I know I did decide, didn't we? I've got sunflowers in 19, and we'll use the planter for that, and then we're going to do another field of canola in 23 because we were a bit short on canola for the pigs, so we'll get that topped up. I always forget that we could go up the dirt track, which would be a hell of a lot quicker. So I'll continue over to 14 and 15. Okay, so we're up at 14 and 15, and as you can see I've left the course on what we previously had on, and you can see that blue line's kind of following the direction the field was planted. So that's pretty much the same direction field 18 goes, is straight up that blue line. So in effect we could just leave it at that and work our way sort of diagonally across the field a little bit, but what we'll do, we'll cancel that line. So once you've got the single white line, that means that you've got no AB line set up. So if we kind of follow the edge of this field, which is the sort of the longer edge, so we'll set A and then we'll just drive forward sort of in a straight line we can to a certain point, and then that's my course set. Now I've mapped that to my controller as well, so I'll do RB and the right stick in, so we can come back down to here and get that switched on and following that line. Oh, there we go. It would help if you actually switched on the guidance steer, so that will follow that line all the way up to the end of the field, and then it will automatically stop because we're on cruise control once we reach the headland. So we could have done with probably being a little bit further over to the left. We're just slightly missing a few little bits there, but I'm not going to worry about those. As you can see, as we're getting a bit further up, we are a little bit further over. So say it's a kind of a difficult shaped field to set up. We could have probably done it from this top corner, would have probably been the better point to start from, and then work back that way, because it slightly curves round that end. I don't know why this sprayer seems extremely slow. I don't know, I'm sure 7 miles an hour is the actual speed it does, but it just seems slower than normal. So what I'll do is I'm going to carry on with this. I'll get this field all fertilised, and then we can get back down to the farm and get some fields fertilised down there and seeded. Okay, so I've got the sprayer swapped over, we've now got the spreader on, so we'll get fields 19 and 23 done with fertilise that. So if we just head over here, again I'm using this tractor because it's the only one with the GPS in now. So we'll have to look again installed on to some of the others. So first off we need to set up our AB line. So if I press that one, yeah, so that's set up the A. If I follow this, you have to drive at least 15 meters, I believe, to set up the AB line. So that's then set up. What we need to do is just set the working width, which press auto, which is 30. Is that right? 30. I presume so. We're way off now. The only downside to the track is to shift over the track. Obviously you can see the blue line on the left hand side is way off the field, so we want to shift that over. Now the way you do that is left alt, page up, page down. Unfortunately you can't hold page up to shift it over. You have to press it, and it moves in such small increments. It's crazy. I don't know if there's any way of like speeding that up. But yeah, that's annoying. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get it shifted over. Okay, so after many button clicks on the page up on the keyboard, we've got it somewhere over close to the edge of the field. I really do think they need to add another key in to hold down, that you can, when you press it, you do it in bigger increments of the shifting the track over, because it's great for fine-tuning it, but that's crazy if that's the way it's going to be, unless I'm missing something on that. So at least it's nice and easy to set up. I can do it off the controller, which I'm really pleased with, so I can use that within the time-lapse series without the lines on. I'll be able to just drive up to a field. All I've got to do then is set the working width and set the track up. That'll be nice and easy. So we'll do switch around to the next one, turn it on, and away we go. So yeah, really pleased this is out now, and looking forward to seeing the future updates for it. So if you want to get this, I'll put a link down in the description, where I've got it through the link from Wopster Modding's Facebook page, who's the creator of this one. I believe the person that was, or the person that did 17, he's no longer doing any mods for it, so no longer modding for or creating mods for Farming Simulator at the moment. So and as it's still in very early access stage, like in the beta stage, it will get updated probably regularly. So how come we are slightly missing a little patch there for some reason? I don't know if that's because of the angle of the terrain, or whether the working width. No, it seems fine down that side of the field, so no reason why it should have missed those few little patches, unless that slight little patch doesn't require any fertilizer for this stage. So what I'd probably normally do is just go around the headland and then do the inner section, especially on a field of this shape. Would be the easiest way to do it. But we don't need GPS to finish this last little bit off. So what I'll do is I'll go and get the next field fertilised. This one I do want to put sunflowers in. We are going to need to cultivate it before we can use the planter. So that's that one done. So I'll go and get the other one done, and yeah, then we'll need to get this one cultivated. Okay, so that's both fields fertilised. So what we need to do now is get 19 cultivated, ready for planting. We'll have to use the power harrow, because that's all we've got. So we can drop off the spreader. And again, there's always something in the way when I come to get these implements. I really can't wait till we upgrade to a new seeder. And we'll replace all this with separate implements. So we will need to get a cultivator as well. And not necessarily straight away. We could keep the power harrow section of this rather than sell all of it straight away, but it would be nice to get a slightly bigger cultivator as well, so when we do the planting we can get the fields cultivated quicker. So I said we'll do 19 and 23. We can just put the seeder section on the back of here to do that. So what I'm going to do is start down this section here and I'll follow the edge of the field. So if I reset that, so we've got the A to B line set, and then we just need to adjust the working width. So obviously it's still set to the sprayer. Oh no, wrong one. Control S, auto width 4 meters, which is fine. I'm going to switch off the lines. Don't know if that's working yet, the snap terrain angle, but we won't mess around with that now. So that should be set up for here. So if I switch that on and lower this down, turn the power harrow on, put on the cruise control. Now this should stop at the end of the field when we get close to the headland. At the moment there's no way of setting the distance like you could on the old one. I'm presuming that will be an added feature once the basics is all sorted out. So we are slightly off this edge of the field here, but I did plough that, so it may be that the field's not quite straight now. We are going off quite a bit to the this end. It's just so difficult to set up your AB line. Let's lift that up to get it perfectly straight to the actual field. I think the easiest way, I don't know if you can hire a worker when you've got GPS enabled. Always try it. If we, I need to switch on the lines again so we can actually see. So let's back out of there. So if I reset A, now if I hire a worker, as a worker I'll go in a perfectly straight line. So as long as we give it 15 meters, and then we can take the worker off. I compress that again, so that should be perfectly straight to the field now. So I can enable the GPS mode, lower that down, turn it on, and then switch on the implement. So now we're a lot straighter to the field now. So if we can get a worker to use to set up the AB line, that will help, because then you know you're going to be straight to most fields on the base game maps anyway. Obviously then it's going to be slightly different if you've got maps that have got multi-angle terrain implemented into the map, because then obviously the direction could be any which way. So what we need to do is get all this cultivated so we can get it planted.
I'm holding on, if almost gone. Someday I know I'll finally make it through the gates. Just have to wait. You whisper to me there's no maybe. There's only time for dreams even greater. I hear the call, and I close my eyes to see even clearer. I see it all. I know that we can go higher if we keep our faith, if we keep our faith. Sometimes I'm like a whisper in a riot, but I grow stronger, keep believing in me. Say you're believing in me. You're believing in me. Say you're believing in me. You're believing in me. Still holding tight through every fright, 'cause sometimes I can see through the echo. if we keep our faith. Sometimes I'm like a whisper in a riot, but I grow stronger, keep believing in me. So you're believing in me. You're believing in me. Say you're believing in me. You're believing in me. Say you're believing in me. You're believing in me. Say you're believing in me.
Okay, so it's the last little bits to do on this field, cultivating wise anyway. I really do need to upgrade our cultivator, even if it was just a 6 meter would be so much better, because this is painfully slow. Obviously it wasn't so bad when we originally started, because we had a lot smaller fields, but now we've extended them all. It's, yeah, just takes a little bit too long, so desperately need to upgrade our setup for this, for the seeding, from 4 meters at least. So there's a few tiny little bits that just got a little bit missed, where the GPS stopped the cruise control a little bit shorter on some areas. So I'm not sure what determines the distance from stopping at the end of the field at the moment. But I think we are pretty much done with that, and I know I'm driving all over my cultivated field. One thing I'm thinking is, I've got no real life farm experience at all. I've never done any farming in my life, apart from on game. I'm presuming, if anybody does know, if there are any real farmers that are watching this, when a cultivating field, do you tend to do headlands last? My assumption would be that you would, because obviously you're turning around quite a bit on the headland and compacting that ground back in, that you'd finish off with a headland similar to seeding. But maybe completely wrong on that. Say I've got no experience with farming in the real world, so I would know it may be different for other people, may do it different ways, but I'm not quite sure. So the other field doesn't need cultivating. Well, technically it does need cultivating, because we've got this seeder set up, and that seeder needs to go, but we can do the cultivating and seeding at the same time with that one, and we'll get a worker to do that, because I've had enough of doing that. So I don't want to do any more field work. We've done some fertilising the field, we've messed around with the GPS, which I'm really enjoying. It's great fun. So what I'm going to do is quickly head up to the store and pick up some of these new auto load wall pallets that I mentioned in the previous episode, if I don't crash into our combine header, which I've left there because it needs washing. I'm going to get it washed off before we put it away. So I need to get our trailer, which I did leave down here because I was going to load up the trailer, because we've got quite a few wall pallets and take them to sell, but then the price of wool is not great. And then I remembered we've got the auto load wall pallets installed, and I'll try them out. I have adjusted them slightly, because the the single use ones were a lower capacity than the ones that you can use more often. So I adjusted them because I felt the capacities were a bit too high, so I changed it to 2000 on the smallest one, which I personally think the wall pallets should be changed back to 2000 as the standard ones from 1000. Not sure why they reduced it to 1000. I presume there's some kind of reasoning. Now I wouldn't expect them to increase the rate of which wall fills, because that'd just be counterproductive, and you're still going to be moving pallets just as often. But it would be good to have the 2000 litres, so you're just not having to load pallets up as often, and you've got less pallets to actually load up. So what we want is pallets, not bales, and we've got these. So we've got the egg pallets, which we've used previously, and now I've got these. So we've got single use and the reusable. Reusable, obviously more expensive because they're continuous use. So I have changed the capacity. Oh, I thought I had. Well, I've changed the capacity on the thing, but the capacity at the top's still showing. So obviously I need to still change a section in the XML file. So we'll go with signs. That way we're not going to get confused with empty egg pallets. I'm going to keep it as the small one, which I did think because they changed to 2000, but it looks like it's still 4. So we'll get another 2. Right, so that's 6 in total. So I'll get these loaded up, and I am just going to put them on by hand because they're empty. So we can lift an empty pallet with a bit of metal caging. We'll get Carlo to come and help us. Give us a helping hand lifting them on. So I'll get these on, we'll get these back to the farm and see kind of how they work, because I'm interested to see how they load up. I'm presuming that'll be similar to the egg pallets. And you just put them near the wall pallets and they'll just fill up. Okay, so we're back at the farm. I purchased an extra 4, so we've got 10 in total. Thought we may as well fill the trailer up. So if we take one, locking straps still from that one's still holding that. No. Okay, don't say they've glitched out and they're all still stuck. Okay, that's a bit weird. Okay, so I can't pick them up now. Oh, there we go. I can pick this one up at least. So if we drop it down next to these two, is that going to start filling? Nope. Okay, so this is the thing, I'm not sure exactly how these work. I'm not sure whether you just put them in the spawn point and they start filling. Yeah, that's not auto loading, so the term auto load egg pallets is, yeah, I'm not quite sure. Okay. Well, that one's filling, so let's take that one out. And we'll take that one out because that one's full. Now what we're going to do is just speed up time a little bit and just see if that one actually starts filling or whether it spawns a new one. No, that one is filling. Okay. So let me just check. So animals, sheep. So that's showing 19 litres in that one. But let's put the forks in and see if it shows the actual capacity of it. Because if that's the way it works, then I was hoping we could get rid of all these ones and condense these pallets into those. I didn't fully read the description. I just presumed it was like, because it said auto wall pallets, I presumed it just took the others. So yeah, 4,000 litre capacity, so it is filling up. So if I drop 4 in there, they should all fill up when required. But I was really hoping that you could just put these ones next to it and it would fill. Obviously not, so that's a bit disappointing because we're still going to have all those pallets. So what I'll do, I'll just drop 4 of these in there for now, and then when they're full we'll get these moved over and put the others in. What I'll probably have to do is leave them as 4,000 litre now, because it may mess things up if I change it. Now we've got them in place. We'll just say it's extra condensed, compacted wall. I'll just drop this one over here. I didn't pick that one up by hand, honestly. You didn't see that. So we need to put that one back in as well. finish filling that one up at some point. I'll just drop that one there. So yeah, I don't know if they are supposed to automatically fill up like the eggs where you throw the egg box at them, those pallets, but never mind. It's better if we've got those, as we're just gonna have there's technically four pallets in each one of those, so it's gonna be a while before we need to move any of these, which is just gonna be a hell of a lot easier, because look how many pallets of wool we've got here, and keeping up on top of those, keep moving them, is a pain. I can't imagine having the big sheep pasture full of sheep, because I think it only does 6 pallets, which must be an absolute nightmare if you're constantly moving pallets, getting the message no more space for wool. We do need some more egg pallets, which I completely forgot about. I could have bought when we was up there, because we filled up the 6 we had, so all these are now full. So when we get a good price on eggs, we can take those and sell, which when I checked earlier it wasn't so good. So highest price 5,149, which we've seen a lot better than that. And the wool at the moment is 1,300, which I don't think is very good either. I think 2,000 is a good price. But yeah, they're going to be better anyway. It does mean we're going to have to get rid of those ones when the price is improved. So what I'm going to do is we'll leave this episode there. I've not got as much done as I wanted to, but as I said, I don't want to keep doing too much work off camera. I'll get the videos done. So we've got 2 fields, technically 4 fields fertilised, because we did the 19, 14, 15 with the sprayer. We got a layer of fertiliser on 19 and 23, and we've got 19 ready for planting. So what I'll probably do is I'll get that one planted with the sunflowers, and I'll get 23 done with canola. We'll just check the pigs before we go. So we're up to 37 pigs of each now, and the reproduction rate's down to 4 hours 15. So that's coming down. Obviously, as the numbers increase, the amount of food obviously decreases by how much the capacity could be filled up by. They do need cleaning out. We're only 47%, so I'll go and get that done. So we do really need to get that canola, so we can top that up, because that's going to be the first one that's going to be emptied. So we're nearly up to 80 already, so it's not going to be long before we can take some up to sell. The sheep are only 5 off. They're still going to take a few days to fill up to maximum capacity before we can take some of those. And our next 2 horses are going to be 2 in-game days for Turbo and Crystal. And then we can look at getting that new tractor I mentioned about getting probably about 6-7 episodes ago now. Can't remember. But anyway, we'll leave it there. Hope you have enjoyed this episode. I'm just wondering why the time is still on times 300. It's a good job I wasn't planning on doing any more to this game day, because we've just blew through the hours. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. We've got new Farm Simulator 19 videos coming every day. And if you've got any questions, comments, suggestions, then please do leave it down in the comment section. Again, I'll try and answer any questions if I can. And I do appreciate everyone's comments. Some really amazing comments as well on the videos. I really do appreciate it. It has been awesome. And a quick thank you to everyone that has subscribed to the channel as well. As I'm recording this, I'm just shy of 16,000 subscribers, which is absolutely amazing. Considering the start of December, I was on about 69 subscribers. So yeah, it's been absolutely amazing few months for the channel, and I just absolutely really appreciate everyone that's watched the videos, commented, liked, shared, taken the time to do any of that. I really do appreciate it, and it makes it all worthwhile for me to put the time and effort in to create the videos and hear the comments. People actually enjoying the videos, which is absolutely amazing. So a very big thank you to everyone, all subscribers new and old. And yeah, again, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you again. Goodbye.